If you're reading this, then either I've gone missing, or you have found, or what remains of my body. I don't have a lot of time left, so I'll just try to leave the important stuff here. First of all, what happened, people still blame me for this, but it isn't my fault. I didn't kill my brother James, or lead him to his death. Now a little backstory. I never really got along with my younger brother James, just 2 years younger than me. He was always a thorn on my side whenever he was around. I'm guessing it was because he didn't have a lot of friends in school and was always quiet, making him an easy target for bullies. So he would like to hang around me, but he got in my way from trying to look cool in front of my friends. I will always push him aside and see him getting cornered by a couple of his classmates, but I never really did anything to help him. I always told him to man up and to solve his own problems. With no one to help him, and with not me giving a shit about him, he grew up to be an introvert. In middle school, he was mostly a C student and didn't like to try the effort to make any friends. Now this is where things went wrong here. Since he got bullied a lot, he grew to be a paranoid freak, thinking whenever someone would try to talk to him, they would try to bully him. At home, he would try to get closer to me, but like always, I pushed him aside. He would try to get into things I like, because I never knew until now that he always looked up to me, since I had friends and in his eyes, I was a role model to him. One thing he couldn't get into was horror movies. Now I don't remember what horror movie I was watching, but it was about this one kid who had some kind of curse on him and an evil entity was after him. There was one part in the movie where it shows his point of view, and it shows him waking up in the middle of the night, and he sees something coming out of his closet and jumping at him and dragging him to the closet. I didn't realize my brother was in the same room with me. It must have been that he tried to sneak in just like he always does, to try to see what I'm doing, and was terrified with what was going on. He started crying and started to curl up into a ball while he was holding his head as if someone had hit him. I was scared that I heard someone crying behind me when I was watching a scary movie, but quickly got annoyed that it was just James. I paused it and forced him out of my room. That same night was the beginning of it all. Around 2 a.m., I heard a scream come out from his room. Scared out of my sleep, I ran there and found my parents trying to calm him down. Apparently, he said that he saw a monster coming out of his closet. Now I need to say that at this point, I was in sophomore year in high school. I was annoyed that he was almost a grown adult and he was still scared of things like this. The following night, around 3 a.m., I heard running footsteps approach my room and my door swung open, and I was scared, but then was annoyed it was just my brother. He told me that he saw a monster in his closet and he wanted to sleep in my room. I was seriously pissed off, and I told him to fuck off, and he left, and I went back to sleep. This went on for about 2 weeks, and at this point, my parents stopped caring, and had him man up as I used to tell him. He would scream, and we all just ignore him, and find him in the morning sleeping in the corner, curled up in the bar, with the lights on. At this point, my parents wanted to send him to get some help, but that would never happen. Not after the night where I wish I would have been a better brother to him, and I know that they exist. The night before my parents were gonna send him to get help, I heard the usual scream and was gonna go into his room to finally teach him to man up on my own. But when I went into his room, there in front of me was something that left me paralyzed with fear. What I saw was a thing that looked exactly like that demon creature I saw in the movie, or at least I think it was. I couldn't scream or move as it was chewing on my brother's body and his guts were splattered on the floor. It looked at me and it started talking in its deep demonic voice while blood dripped from its mouth.
What you are seeing in front of you, it's all real. I may look like this to you because we take forms in which your worst fears are made from. We always existed since the beginning of time when you so-called humans first appeared. We take pleasure in feasting when your fear is at its max, and at a young age when your meat is tender. Adult meat doesn't taste the same as those of the young. You so-called adults don't fear the unknown, and that's why we never target adults, but children are more easier targets.
I was finally able to move and dropped and screamed for my parents as I heard footsteps approaching this room. The creature said before disappearing back into the closet with my brother's half-eaten corpse.
We almost had you, but you grew to enjoy the unknown and weakening the taste of your fear. But know this doesn't mean we won't come for you. You now know the truth. We've always existed, and now we'll come for you to take the truth from you.
Aside from the creature's voice, I could hear a soft voice that I know was my brother saying, "I love you." It disappeared into the darkness of the closet, and I felt my eyes get heavy. I awoke the next morning in my bed, with my parents by my side of the bed crying. I asked, and they said they found my brother dead with a knife in his heart. This was impossible. I saw him get eaten right in front of me. I went to his room, and police officers were inside investigating. But the odd thing was that my brother was lying on the floor when I saw him get eaten alive, or at least I thought it was my brother. The news of his death reached our small neighborhood, and talks about him being ignored by his family caused him to commit suicide. Now I'm 29, living on my own, and ever since that night, I kept hearing noises coming from my own room, and even in my new home, after I was old enough to move out, I've always nailed the closet door shut with images of Jesus Christ. Since then, bangs and voices can be heard coming from inside, like,
You can't hide. You're mine now. We hid the truth. We manipulated the truth. Your brother's body is no more. It's not him. It's a fake.
I don't know how long the door will hold up. Every night, the nails come looser, and even when I keep nailing it again and again, they will come flying off the door. It's just a matter of time before they break down the door and come for me. But I just have to write this down, that they exist. Those monsters we thought we saw as kids, that we were scared of, they are all real, and they always have been. Please, if you find this, be careful at night. Don't let the truth and fear get the better of you, because they do exist, and they're coming for you if you know the truth. Hey guys, Phantom Raven here. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I will see you all next time. Peace.